War changes everything, but no one tells you how it changes you. The smoke still clung to my armor as I stood in the ruins of AIandHumanity Prime, one of the last strongholds of the Zarenth. We'd been fighting them for years, sleek, luminous beings with eyes like molten glass and skin that shimmered under ultraviolet light. They were fast, terrifying, and brilliant. Humanity called them monsters. I called them worthy. When the war finally ended, the Federation celebrated like children. Commanders drank, medals gleamed, and the smell of burnt ozone filled the air. I'd led the assault that broke the Zarenth defenses, taking down their orbital relay. That's when they called my name. Commander Elias Rourke. The High General's voice boomed, echoing through the hall. For your courage and decisive action, the Federation honors you with a hero's prize, a living relic of victory. The crowd clapped. The soldiers cheered. And then the doors opened. 2 guards led her in, tall, slender, draped in silver chains. Her skin glowed faintly blue under the hall lights. Her eyes, gods, her eyes. I froze. Because she wasn't just any Zarenth captive. She looked right at me, not with fear, not with hate, but recognition. My heart stuttered. The alien girl's lips parted slightly. In a voice almost human, almost trembling, she whispered, "Elias." Middle. The room fell silent. No one heard her, or maybe they thought I didn't. I kept my face neutral, military stone hard. But inside, the floor fell away. They said she was mine now. My reward. The Federation's cruel sense of irony. Later, in my quarters aboard the Dreadnought Vigilant, she stood by the viewport, gazing at the stars that once belonged to her people. Her chains shimmered faintly against her luminescent skin. "You don't belong here," I said quietly. Her eyes turned to me, eyes of liquid amber, bright with memories I couldn't place. "Neither do you," she murmured. That voice. I knew it. From somewhere buried deep, before the war, before everything. "Do we know each other?" I asked, my voice low. She hesitated, her fingers brushing the collar on her neck. "You wouldn't remember," she said. "They took it from you." My blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" She turned, stepping closer. "You were part of Project Origin." That name, one I hadn't heard in years, hit like a thunderclap. Classified, buried, denied by every military council. I'd been told I'd been injured before deployment. A head trauma, memory gaps. "You were not meant to be a soldier," she continued. "You were meant to be our bridge." I echoed. She nodded. "Between humans and Zarenth. I was assigned to you. To teach you our language, our culture, to teach you to see us not as enemies, but equals." The world tilted. I staggered back, staring at her. "I was your liaison, Elias. Your translator. We spent months together on Novus Station before the war began." And then, like a door cracking open, fragments of images flickered. A woman laughing under artificial starlight, glowing softly as she leaned over a console, whispering in a language I somehow knew. My knees went weak. "You," I breathed. "Your name?" "Lyra," she said softly. "My name is Lyra." The flashbacks. Over the next few nights, fragments became memories. I stopped sleeping, stopped reporting to command, haunted by the impossible idea that I'd once known her. Lyra told me everything. How the peace talks had collapsed, how the Federation's military wing had staged the first strike and erased every trace of cooperation. How I had tried to stop it and failed. How I was reassigned, mind wiped, and placed back into service to fight the very people I'd once called allies. "You told me," she said one night, "that humans could be kind, that they could change." I clenched my fists. I was wrong. She stepped closer, eyes glowing faintly in the dark.
No.
You were right. You just forgot. The days passed. I was supposed to report her for reconditioning, but I didn't. I couldn't. We spoke in whispers, her teaching me words in her native tongue, words I somehow already half knew. Words for light, for home, for forgive. And sometimes she'd just stare at me, as if memorizing every scar, every breath. You're still him, she said once, fingers brushing the edge of my sleeve. Even if they made you forget. Then tell me, I whispered. Tell me who I was to you. Her eyes shimmered with tears that glowed like stars. You were the first human who ever called me friend. Conflict. Command began asking questions. Why hadn't the prize been transferred? Why hadn't I turned her in? Then the orders came down. The Vigilant was to transport all surviving Zarenth captives to the Titan penal colony. None would survive long there. Lyra knew. She could sense it. They'll kill us, she said quietly, watching the planet grow smaller through the viewport. I won't let that happen, I swore. She looked at me with something between sorrow and hope. You can't save me, Elias. Not again. But I already had a plan. There was a shuttle in the lower hangar. I could override its autopilot, disable its tracking beacon, and send her to the outer belt, to the hidden colony where survivors of the Zarenth resistance were rumored to be regrouping. The night before the transfer, I unlocked her restraints. Go, I whispered.
Now.
Before they find out. But she didn't move. Come with me, she said, voice trembling. I shook my head. If I run, they'll hunt us both down. But if you make it, maybe there's still a chance for your people. Lyra stepped forward, her hand hovering near my cheek. The faint hum of energy passed between us, that same warmth I remembered from long ago. You don't understand, she said. If they find out what you are, what you were, they'll kill you too. What I am. She hesitated. You weren't just chosen for the project. You were bonded to me. In our culture, that means... She faltered, looking away. What does it mean, Lyra? She looked back at me, voice breaking. It means part of my essence lives inside you. When they erased your memories, they erased me from you, but not all of me. That's why you remembered. I couldn't speak. The truth was too heavy, too raw. I loved you, she whispered. Once. And then the alarm blared. The escape. The hangar doors exploded open, security units flooding in, shouting commands. I grabbed her hand and ran. Bullets screamed through the air as we dashed for the shuttle. Lyra's energy flared, a shimmering field deflecting the worst of it, but it was draining her fast. Elias, she gasped. We dove behind a console. Smoke and fire filled the air. She clutched my arm, eyes burning bright. You can't die here. You're the last piece of what we were. I'm not leaving you again. Her hand pressed against my chest, a pulse of light, a sudden surge of energy that made the world blur. When my vision cleared, I was on the shuttle. The engines roared to life. Autopilot engaged. Lyra wasn't there. Through the viewport, I saw her on the deck, surrounded by soldiers, but still standing, unafraid. And then she smiled. A single word echoed in my mind, not through sound, but through the bond we once shared.
Live.
The shuttle blasted off, streaking into the void. Ending. I don't remember landing. I woke up weeks later in the outer belt, rescued by miners who said they found me drifting near a derelict beacon. The Federation branded me a deserter. My name was erased from the records. But I didn't care. I spent months searching the belt for signs of the Zarenth, any trace of Lyra. Every lead was a dead end. Every rumor, false. Until one night in a small outpost on Vega 9, a trader handed me a crystal. Found this near the Perseus Rift, he said. Didn't know what it was, but it hummed when I touched it. The moment I held it, I knew. The crystal pulsed softly, and then her voice filled my head. If you're hearing this, it means you survived. It means my light reached you. Elias, I can't come back. But what we were, what we are, lives on in you. Don't let them make you forget again. My hands trembled. I could barely breathe. For a long time, I sat in the dim light of that outpost, holding the crystal against my chest. And for the first time since the war, I felt peace. I looked out at the stars, at the billions of worlds out there, and whispered to the void, I remember you, Lyra. The crystal glowed faintly, almost like it was smiling back. Epilogue. Years later, I became a wanderer, not a soldier, not a hero, just a man chasing ghosts. But in every star system, in every alien face I saw, there was a spark, a memory of her. And sometimes when I dream, I see her standing in the light again. No chains, no fear, reaching out her hand like before. And I reach back, because even across galaxies, a love, once shared, never truly fades.